Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of The Disconnect. Yes, you got a 2-for-1 deal tonight because this is something that I definitely want to talk about. So, if you are watching on my YouTube channel, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button as well as click on the notification bell so that you can be alerted when I drop new content. Also, make sure you comment on this video. And with that said, let's get straight into it. So many of us, and I've heard this all my life, so many people said after a breakup, I just need closure. I need closure. And, no matter how much the person hurt them or how much the person disappointed them, neglected them, abandoned them, or whatever the case may be, none of that mattered. It was just the closure that would make the situation so much better. So I think closure or the illusion of I need closure can trick us out of our healing process. And one of the biggest lessons I had to learn years ago was we want closure, but sometimes you just don't get closure. And sometimes you have to heal despite not knowing why a person did what they did to you. And even if they could explain why they did what they did, life goes on. I think a lot of us don't really want closure. We want a person to tell us something to make us feel better so that it makes our healing process easier. But sometimes you just don't get those things. And sometimes you just have to, cry about it and heal on your own. So don't trick yourself into thinking closure is something that you need. There will be situations that happen that are beyond your control that you may not understand, that will hurt you, that will rip you to pieces, and that will break your heart and crush your spirit in some cases. But you still have life and breath in you, and you will make it through this just like you made it through. If anybody's going through it, you'll make it through this just like you made it through every other challenge and circumstance that you went through in the past. Even if you don't understand why, even if that person never explained to you why. And the thing about open doors, and I'll be honest, the reason certain people don't give closure is because they still want to have access to you. So I'm not saying seek closure, but still even, pay attention to the type of people you entertain, because some of those people still want to have access to you. So it's not that you need closure, but I think you need, instead of closure, we need awareness. We need to know, and we need to recognize this person did this to me. What they did was not right, and there's nothing I could have done to prevent them from doing that to me, and they were wrong for what they did. So I think we need to have awareness and look at the situation for what it really is versus what we have created in our minds. And I think our minds can be a very deceptive place because we just want answers, and sometimes we don't even, in some cases we don't really want to hear what we need to hear. We want to hear what we want to hear. And even if a person was to say, "Man, I did you like this and I just don't like you like that." A lot of us don't, like, y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all want answer like, "Man, I still love you. It just, it wasn't the right time." And we can't deal in fluff. We got to deal with the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is that person did what they did. You're heartbroken, and nothing that that person can say can change how you feel at the very moment that you feel it, whether it's something that you went through years ago or it's something that you're going through today. Nothing that a person can say is going to take away the fact that you have to go through the healing process. If if I cut a wound in your hand, the wound has to heal. I could apologize all day, but that wound has to heal on its own. So just like that wound has to heal on its own, you have to give yourself time to heal without feeling like you need validation from a person that hurt you. Like you want them to make the wound feel a little bit better, but the wound is still going to be there. And so I think the hardest part of the healing phase for a lot of us is not having the comfort of a person that we are used to. Like whenever you experience a breakup, it's hurtful because you're attached to that person. You know that person. That's your go-to person. That's your friend. That's somebody, after work, they're going to be there. That's someone you've relied on or depended on for such a long time. And now your person is no longer there. So, of course, it's going to be a hurtful process. But when a person decides to let that bond go, whether they tell you why they're letting it go or whether they don't tell you why they're letting it go, it's going to hurt initially because you're breaking a bond that you once shared with the person. And it's quite natural to feel like, wow, I need closure, but you do not need closure. And I think sometimes we still want to hold on to, and that's natural as well. It's natural to want to hold on to a person, but I think one of the things that I've realized over the years is once the situation is over, sometimes things just run their course and there's nothing you can do or say to bring things back to how they were. And even if a person tells you what you want to hear, it's not going to change the situation. Like Drake has this song, y'all know I love me some Drake. Drake has this song called, oh, what's the name of this song? He's like, it's called Doing It Wrong, and he was like, you'll say you love me, and I'll end up lying and say I love you too, but I need someone different. And so it's basically talks about familiarity with people and staying in the wrong situation because you feel bad. So I think a lot of people use closure as a cop out. Like, I just need closure. I need to close. You can close a chapter without somebody giving you permission to do so. So just because a person, like if a person cuts you off without warning, which they can very well do so, like nobody owes us anything. Anybody can decide tomorrow to leave you alone. And there's absolutely, and it's sad, but I mean, it's just me being honest. If one of your friends decides to cut you off tomorrow, there's absolutely nothing that you can do about it if they decide to cut you off, y'all. So there's no, like, sometimes we just don't get closure. And we have to understand it has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with us. You may be the most amazing person. It could be timing, it could be the wrong time, it could be anything. It could be that you guys aren't compatible. It could be that that person isn't ready for what you're ready for. It could be infidelity. That person could be cheating. It could be a number of things. But when a person is ready to go, they're ready to go. And nothing you can say is going to, you could change it, but you don't want, like, who wants to beg someone to love them or, like, I know we always like we're curious people and we always want to know why. But is why really going to change how you feel about a situation is the question. Like if a person really told you why they're doing something, what is going to change about the situation? So we have to examine these things and say, do I really need this person to tell me why? Because sometimes we can sense when things aren't going in the direction that they need to go. And sometimes we can sense when chapters need to close, but I think sometimes we get so comfortable with people that we get into a routine of a person just being there to the point where when they're not wanting to be there, we just don't understand because we're in the routine of just having that person there. So we have to get in the mindset of I really would like closure, but I really don't need it because with or without closure, I have to work on healing for myself.